Yeah, they lit. Yeah, they lit. They fix it quick. They fix it quick. It really work. It really work. Yeah, it's legit. Yeah, it's legit. Queens of credit. Queens of credit. Queens of credit. Queens of credit. Call them up. Call them up. And get your blessing. Get your blessing. Yeah, they lit. Yeah, they lit. They fix it quick. They fix it quick. It really work. It really work. Yeah, it's legit. Yeah, it's legit. Yeah. Yeah, you want that car. You want that house. But your credit really, really in a drought. Queens of credit have you walking in the bank. Queens of credit have you chilling by a lake. You've been waiting for too long, ain't no more time for delay. It's just time to level up, you ain't got no room to play. Always putting others right before yourself. It's your time to shine, time to stack as well. I hit a bag calling, I see the money fall.
What's up, y'all? What's up? It's your girl, Dr. Ashanti Odom-Pitts. Thank y'all for tuning in from Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, wherever y'all at. I'm glad y'all are tuning in. Y'all know what today is. It is Build Your Score Thursday. So let's get into it because, you know, every time we get on here on Thursdays, we got a lot to cover. Y'all make sure y'all keep encouraging me as far as drinking my water, okay? Y'all keep encouraging your girl because it was a lot, you know, to drink all this water today. And so real quick, before I jump on building your score, I just want to tell you guys thank you so much for motivating me and encouraging me. Because, you know, pageant behavior is pageant season. You know what I'm saying? So I figured I'd go ahead and add a real crown because they call me the queen of credit. So I figured, you know, what the heck. So let's go ahead and get started. Welcome, guys. Tonight, Thursday, Build Your Score. We're talking about where do I start? Okay, that's very important because most of you have said to me, Ashanti, I want to get to the 700 club, but I have no idea where to start. I'm not really in a financial place to be able to pay anybody to fix my credit, and that's cool. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm your girl, okay? And so I want to talk to you guys tonight about where do you start? How do you even start the process of fixing your credit? So you already know the first thing, of course, you have to do is check your credit score, find out what's on there. Now, here's the thing. If you have late pays that are reporting, right? So that means that if you made a late pay, which is really huge, and I'm gonna show y'all something because y'all have no clue how huge having late pays are, okay? So pay attention, okay? So late pays that are on your credit, the best thing for you to do is to reach out to ask them to go ahead and remove that late pay for you, right? And I'm gonna show you guys something, if I can, because y'all need to know how powerful this is. Okay, I hope y'all can see this. Hopefully you can see this. So now, if you look at the part where it says 35%, it's in the bottom part. It says payment history is 35%, and it's in the blue, right? So every time you make a late payment, every single time you make a late payment, you're talking about dropping your score up to 100%. So that's why it's important for you to understand that removing those late pays, and listen, if it was a late pay from 3 years ago, let it stay, okay, because it doesn't matter. But if it's a late pay and it was a late pay between 2020, 2021, and 2022, very important for you to remove that because your score is going to go up like 100 points, okay? And it can go up to 155. That's just being honest. So this is what you want to say when you call the credit bureaus. Basically, you're going to let them know that you were never late. In this, you'll let people that you should call, like your car people or the credit card people, you'll just call them and just say, hey, look, you know, times are hard. It's COVID. Okay. And I wasn't able to make the payment. Can you remove it? And I'm going to be honest with you. The first person may say no. They may say we're not able to do that. But it is based upon the rep that answers the phone. And that's important that most people don't know that just because somebody tells you no, they can't remove it, you know, it doesn't mean that that's the final answer, right? That just means that person is having a bad day. Okay, so you're going to have to call back, get somebody else who is willing to go ahead and remove that. Okay, so and once you call, you get that person, they remove it. Now, it's not going to be immediate, but it will show up on the next on the next statement cycle. Okay. And if you guys have questions, y'all can drop them here. I already had stuff I was talking about that people have been asking. The next thing is the inquiry. So most of you have been saying, like, how do I get those inquiries removed? And again, just so that you know how big inquiries are, I want you to look at the part that says 10%. It's in the top part. It's in yellow, and it says new credit, right? So new credit is 10% of your score. So that's like 55 points, right? So every single time that you're letting somebody run your credit, you're taking away from your score. So that's why it's important when you're in the rebuilding phase that you do not let anybody run your credit. Like while you're in the part of where you're rebuilding your score, it's so important to make sure that you're not out here letting 1,000 people, run your credit because they promised that they could get you approved. Okay. Because they already know. Truth be told, like the FICO scoring systems, and there's several FICO scoring systems, and there's several different systems that lenders use, car dealerships use, mortgage people use. And so if you think that when you look at your credit, and let's say it's at a 620, you're like, oh, okay, I'm good. Well, in their system, when they run your credit, it may show up as a 580. And the reason for that is because based on their scoring system, it calculates for different things, different elements. And so it will actually like report that you're 40 points lower than what you're actually seeing. So that's why some of you have thought that maybe you were at a credit worthy place. But in actuality, when you get to the car dealership or you go apply for the house, they're saying that you're not. And so that's the reason why, because in the FICO scoring system that they're using, it's so many different elements in there, guys, that they're using to calculate your score. And so the best thing for you to do is get that thing to 700. So even if it reports 40 points lower, you're still getting approved and you're still getting a better interest rate. Why? Because if you get a better interest rate, that means you can get more car, more house for less money. Okay. That's the difference in you getting a 23% interest rate for a car. You can walk in the car dealership and get like a 0% interest rate and then pay like $250 a month on a brand new Mercedes. I've seen it done. I've had some of my clients go in and get that done. So yes, it is possible. It is very, very possible. The next thing is that freezes. Okay. Most of you have asked about, like, should I freeze my credit? Should I freeze my bureau? What does it mean, when you freeze it? And so there are certain reporting agencies that have to be frozen in order for that stuff to come off. And you might be saying, Ashanti, why would I want it frozen, right? Like what would be the purpose? So typically, there are some things that will not be removed, like evictions or child support, just things like that, unless that particular bureau is frozen. Again, if you guys have questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. And so basically what will happen is that once you freeze that reporting agency, it removes the ability for that old company to keep reporting to Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion that you actually owe it. And so during that time when you are disputing that stuff, it'll actually come off. So that's why it's important that you freeze those actual things. So lastly, you want to make sure that when you are reaching out to the bureaus, you don't have to have like serious lingo. Okay. You don't have to have serious lingo when you're reaching out to the bureaus, but what you should say is, I don't owe this, please remove it. And like 90% of the time, they'll delete it. Just like that. Okay. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me on Thursday. Okay. Building your score. Okay. Hopefully the information that I shared with you today will help you understand where you should start, the foundation of getting started, and how you reach that 700 credit score. If you need some credit boosting resources, text me 832-319-743. Text me 832-219-8734. 832-219-8734. If you need some credit boosting links, and I mean some serious resources that'll help add an additional 80 to 90 points to your credit score, text me and I will send it to you. Okay. Listen, it's been real. And again, y'all know what time it is. Every Thursday, we are here building your score because I want you to be great in 2022. You deserve the absolute best that God has for you. God bless you guys. I love y'all so much. See you next Thursday, building your score.
Credit, queens of 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 credit. Yeah, they lit, yeah, they lit. They fix it quick, they fix it quick. It really work, it really work. Yeah, it's legit, yeah, it's legit. Queens of credit, queens of credit, queens of credit, queens of credit. Call them up, and get your blessing, get your blessing. Yeah, they lit, yeah, they lit. They fix it quick, they fix it quick. It really work, it really work. Yeah, it's legit, yeah, it's